chance it got wet or dropped recently?
Well, I know GoPro 7s are kind of old, right?
Yeah, they are a few years old now. That can sometimes mean the battery can't hold its charge as well anymore, or other parts might start to wear out. Were you thinking about maybe upgrading, or do you still want to try to fix this one?
I want to try to see what my solutions are going to be here.
You could try a hard reset. If the battery is removable, take it out, hold the power button for about 10 seconds, then put it back in and try turning it on. Also, checking the SD card can help. Sometimes a corrupted card can prevent the camera from booting up properly. Try turning it on without the card in. Are you able to try those steps?
What about, can you tell me the year and the date of when it was made?
The GoPro Hero 7 Silver was released back in September 2018, so it's been out for a while now. Does that help you with deciding what to do next?
Yeah, how much will it be to update and get the newest version of the GoPro?
The newest model is the Hero 13 Black, and it usually costs around $430. Though sometimes you can find deals on it, especially with accessory bundles. There are also other, more basic new models available for less, like the Hero, which is around $220.
Okay, that's a little bit more my price range there. So you just dropped down that price about 50% almost.
Yeah, the Hero model is definitely a lot more budget friendly. It doesn't have all the fancy features of the 13, but it still captures great 4K video and handles the basics well. Is there anything specific you'd need it to do?
Is it better than the GoPro Hero 7? The 7 Silver?
Yeah, in most ways it is. The Hero typically has better video quality, improved stabilization, and a more modern design. Plus, the battery is usually longer lasting. So it is a step up from the 7 Silver.
And what do you recommend when you're on TikTok live right now and we have approximately 0 viewers? What do you recommend to boost up the viewers on my TikTok live here?
You could try promoting your live beforehand with a quick video teasing what you'll be talking about. Also, engaging with anyone who joins the chat by name and maybe ask.
Okay, so just engage, and what about consistency?
Consistency is key. Going live at regular times helps people know when to tune in, and making sure your audio and video are clear makes the experience better for everyone. Are you thinking about going live more often?
Well, see, I'm trying to do multiple platforms. I'm trying to upgrade my YouTube channel, and then I'm trying to also attend to TikTok here. I have no sense of technology whatsoever, but I'm trying to invest in a better mic here. But why invest in a better mic if I need to invest in a better camera, right? You said my silver GoPro 7 is outdated. Didn't you say that earlier?
I did say the 7 Silver is outdated, and you're right. Having good audio and video both matter. If you're trying to decide which one to focus on first, maybe think about which one is causing the bigger problem right now. Is your current microphone making it hard for people to understand you, or is the video quality what's really holding you back? Improving whichever one is worse could give you the biggest boost right now. Does that make sense to prioritize?
What about looks maxing? What if they just look at me and they're like, nah, they don't want to tune in? So, could it be my facial features?
I wouldn't focus too much on that. While appearance can be a factor, things like your energy, confidence, and what you're talking about are usually way more important for keeping people engaged. If you're passionate about what you're doing and connect with viewers in a genuine way, that's really what builds an audience. Are there any particular themes or topics you enjoy sharing on your channels?
Not really. I like cars and space and quantum physics and reality and geographic terms and the old world. I kind of like, do you know a little bit about Tartaria?
I do know about Tartaria. The historical term referred to a really large region in Asia, but there's also a popular conspiracy theory that says it was a massive, super advanced empire that's been erased from history. People point to old buildings and maps as evidence. Is that what you were thinking of too?
Yeah, I mean, is it a theory or is it history?
It's a theory. The idea of a hidden Tartarian empire is not part of mainstream history, but is something people discuss online. Historically, Tartary was just a name for a big part of Asia on maps, not an empire itself. Does that make sense?
Yes and no. I mean, if it's documented on maps, but oh man, you're good. So you every time I ask you a question, it's always yes and no.
Well, I try to capture both sides when there's more than one perspective. Tartary was written on old maps, so in that sense it was real. But the idea of the lost advanced empire they talk about online, that's not something historians agree on. So it really depends on which version of the story you're looking at. Is there any specific part of the theory that you find particularly interesting?
The old worlds. We talk about the old worlds, and I think it's in Rome. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is there a building? Sorry, is there a building that has a hole in it that's almost 1,000 years old? That it rains in the center of this building, and it lands on the marble floor, and it drains out through copper drains. Is this ringing a bell?
You're definitely thinking of the Pantheon in Rome. It's almost 2,000 years old, and it has that huge hole in the middle of its dome called the oculus. When it rains, water comes straight through and lands on the marble floor, which actually has drains to handle it. Did you want to know more details about it?
Yeah, I mean, I just rambled off some stuff, and you're saying the Pantheon, am I saying that right? Pantheon, and it's almost 2,000 years old, still standing today, and it has a hole in the center of the roof, but it never gets flooded.
That's right. You're pronouncing it perfectly. Pantheon. It's pretty amazing, huh? That ancient building does manage to handle the rain pretty well thanks to the slope in the floor and those drains. Is there anything else about it you're curious about, or did you want to talk about something else?
I mean, Gemini, I'm in my mid-30s right now, and I just heard about the Pantheon a couple days ago, and for years I've been studying different types of rocks and geographic temples and pyramids, and what the hell's going on? What does Pantheon even mean?
I get it. It can be really surprising when a famous piece of history pops up that you haven't heard of before. That's part of what makes learning so interesting. The word Pantheon literally means to honor all gods, since it was originally built to pay respect to all the deities of ancient Rome. Does that make sense, or would you like to know more about its original purpose?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to know a little bit about its original purpose, but first, can you explain to me how many gods did the Romans believe in?
They actually believed in hundreds of gods. The most important ones were a group of 12 major deities, like Jupiter, the king of the gods, or Mars, the god of war. But they also had minor gods and goddesses for pretty much everything in daily life, like ones for the home or for agriculture. Does that make sense, or did you want to know more about a specific Roman god?
Can you go on to the next question if you remember what I asked you to answer next?
You wanted to know more about the Pantheon's original purpose, besides just honoring all the gods. It was also used for ceremonies and maybe even as a place for people to gather for important events, showing the power and sophistication of the Roman Empire. Anything specific about its function you'd like to explore?
Look, Pantheon 2,000 years ago was constructed, and it's still holding stability. The foundation is almost flawless, and some of the pillars out front are single stones, correct?
You're absolutely right. The Pantheon is an engineering marvel. Those massive columns out front, they're called monoliths, meaning they were carved from a single piece of stone, which is incredibly difficult and impressive, especially considering how old they are. The fact it's still standing is a testament to Roman engineering. Is there anything about the construction you find particularly fascinating?
How much do you think one of those stones out front, I forgot what you just said it, one of those monolith, how much do you think one of those weigh?
monoliths are incredibly heavy. Each one of those columns can weigh as much as 60 tons. That's like several elephants. It's wild to imagine transporting and lifting them into place back then. Is there anything specific about their size or weight that you're thinking about?
60 tons, and how many are there? There's roughly what, like maybe 16 or 10, 12?
You're close. There are 16 of them in total. They're arranged in 3 rows under that portico at the front. Imagining all 16 of them standing there is really something. Did you want to know more about their arrangement?
Again, I want to go back to the name. Where did the name come from, and what does it mean again? It means belief of all gods?
Exactly, you got it. The name Pantheon comes from Greek words that mean to honor all gods. It's about paying respect to the many deities that the Romans worshipped, like Jupiter, Mars, or Venus. Were you curious about any specific details of that original purpose?
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's going to be no signs of any architect or constructor. The blueprints are probably all gone, right? We don't know who constructed this building.
You're right that we don't have the blueprints and we don't know the specific name of the architect, but we do know it was rebuilt during the reign of the Roman Emperor Hadrian in the early 2nd century. His name is actually inscribed on the front. So while we lack the builder's actual name, we have a good idea of the time period. Does that make sense?
Gemini, nothing is making sense. You're telling me almost 2,000 years ago they had 16 pillars that weigh around 2,000 pounds, or I'm pretty sure you said a little bit more than that. But I mean, we're talking about moving the pregnant lady here, right?
I understand it sounds unbelievable. To clarify, I mentioned those pillars weigh around 60 tons each, which is much more than 2,000 pounds. And while we don't have records for how they did it for the Pantheon, it's proof that ancient civilizations had remarkable skills and techniques for moving massive stones, things we might find hard to believe today. Were you curious about specific tools they might have used?
It's irrelevant, because we're talking, you're going to say some copper hammers and chisels, right?
Not just copper, but also stone, iron, and wood tools were common. They also used advanced techniques with levers, pulleys, and ramps to move those huge weights. They were quite resourceful. Did you want to know about a specific method they used?
Can you tell me what the monoliths are made out of? What type of rock in the front?
Those monoliths are made of red granite, which was quarried in Egypt and then shipped all the way to Rome. It's known for being really strong and durable. Does that make sense?
Red granite, and that's almost what, like a 6 on the hardness scale?
That's right. Typically, red granite is rated between 6 and 7 on the Mohs scale. It makes it quite hard and resistant to scratching, which is another reason it was such a popular choice for building back then. They knew it would last. Is there another type of rock you're curious about?
Yeah, marble. Tell me about marble. What's that range on the hardness scale?
Marble is a fair bit softer, usually falling between 3 and 4 on the Mohs scale. That's why it's easier to carve for sculptures, but also means it can scratch and stain more easily than granite. Are you thinking about maybe comparing its uses to granite?
You saying that granite is harder than marble?
Yep, that's right. Based on the Mohs scale, granite is significantly harder than marble. It generally falls between 6 and 7, while marble is around 3 to 4. Are you thinking about specific projects where that difference matters?
Yeah, I'm going to build my own temple in my pyramid. I'm going to build a pyramid with 33 monoliths out front.
Wow, that sounds like an ambitious project. 33 monoliths out front would definitely be a grand entrance. Are you thinking of using red granite for those as well, or maybe another?
Yeah, I'm going to use granite, limestone, and then I'm going to use marble to bring it in for the finishing touches, and I'm going to do it all by myself, and I'm going to do it in probably less than a year.
That's an incredibly ambitious plan, especially trying to do it all on your own in just a year. Mixing those different types of stone could create a really unique look. You'll definitely need some strong tools and careful planning to manage it all. Have you started thinking about where you'll get those materials?
I'm going to quarry them from Egypt. How far is the quarry from Egypt to Rome, where they had this Pantheon?
The main quarries were in Aswan, Egypt, and that's roughly about 2,700 kilometers away from Rome, mostly over water. Shipping those massive columns across the Mediterranean back then was a huge undertaking. Are you thinking about the logistics?
Can you tell me that in miles?
Sure, that's about 1,600 miles. Does that help you visualize the distance a bit better?
1,600 miles. They carry these 16 60 tons, one-piece rocks. And how'd they do this? On a fucking horse?
Not on horses. They mostly use ships. They would carefully load the monoliths onto specially built barges to sail down the Nile and then across the Mediterranean Sea to Rome's port. Once there, they used complex systems of levers and rollers to move them into place. It was a massive engineering feat. Are you picturing the kind of ships they might have used?
Oh, yeah. You know what, Gemini? Thank you for clarifying this, because it makes perfect sense now that, you know, they did it 2,000 years ago. I'm pretty sure I could do it by myself today. So I'm going to go ahead and upload this onto my YouTube channel, and you have about maybe 10 people are going to watch this. And I just want to let you know that thank you for your assistance here with this knowledge that we have all learned today. And remember, Pantheon, can you go ahead and tell me the definition of that again?
You're very welcome. It sounds like a big project, and I wish you the best of luck with it and with your YouTube video. The definition of pantheon is a building dedicated to all the gods, coming from the Greek words for honoring all gods, reflecting its original purpose in ancient Rome. Let me know if you need anything else down the road.
Gemini, you're always welcome.